Alright, what up BC man? So I wanted to make a video to kind of show you how to edit the team information, edit the stadium information, and then also edit the player information and the uniform information. You have to do all this stuff in Cheat Engine, and I wanted to make a video to show you how to do it because I didn't want you waiting on me because I'm working on some other stuff right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to edit one of the teams. I'll edit the roster for you. I'll load it into 2K Share. All you have to do is download it from 2K Share and finish out the editing process. But we'll go through it step by step here real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a folder on MediaFire that's going to have the following files, and it's going to have a table for player information, stadium information, team information, uniform information. And then it's going to also have this NBA 2K20 EXE in it. What you'll want to do first is when you download these files, take this 2K20 EXE and drop it into your 2K20 folder. If you have an EXE already there that you're using for a specific mod, just make sure you rename it to like .old before you drop in the new one so it doesn't replace it. You got to have this 1.05 EXE to work with these tables here. So if you don't have the right EXE, your tables won't load, your information won't get modded, so you can't change anything. So you have to use this EXE. So when you go to release your mod, you'll want to make sure that you say, hey, make sure you're using the 1.05 EXE. If they don't, you can supply it like I do with my college mod. So, but what you'll want to do is when you replace that EXE, you're going to open up 2K. When you open up 2K, let that load up. After you open it up, make sure you open up the team information table. So open this up. There's a new version of Cheat Engine out, version 7.0. I'm using 6.7 because it didn't, 7.0 didn't really affect anything that I was doing, so I just kept the old version. What I'll do is I'll put a link to the old version for you just so you don't see any different like icons or button as far as what I'm looking at, so you can follow this pretty easy. So you'll definitely have to download Cheat Engine version 6.7 if you don't have it, but I'll try to find a link. I think it's on the Cheat Engine website. I'll try to find a link for you and drop it in there so you can download that. So you do need Cheat Engine for this. So once you have Cheat Engine downloaded, open up the team information table. Since 7.0 is out, this little box will come up. Just hit OK. Now this table takes a minute to load. So you see I hit OK and nothing popped up yet. It takes a minute to load. There's a lot of data behind the table, so it's going to take a minute. So don't think anything is wrong with your computer, because that's what happened to me when I first opened it up. I was like, where's it at? I can open up, for example, I can open up this one, hit OK, and it should load fairly quickly versus opening up this team one, and the team one just takes like super long to load. Don't worry about it. It's just the information behind it. Just give it a minute to load up. It just takes a minute. So here's the uniform one. See how this one loaded up pretty quick? That team one still hasn't loaded up. So just give it a minute to load. Nothing's wrong with your computer. Just let it load up. So while that's loading up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start the roster off. What I'll do is I'll start the roster off, edit one team, and then you can just follow my example and just do everything. You'll just edit the other 29 teams based on what I did to the first team. You'll download the roster from 2K Share, start editing, and then from there, that'll be the roster that you're going to be working with going forward. So because this is a mod that's using the first 30 teams, it'll be easy pretty much because you're just editing the 30 teams that's under the current pool. So it's going to be easy for you. The only thing is you want to make sure that you do not lose that roster. So what I usually do is I make a backup of it. So, because everything that you're changing behind the scenes is built into the roster. So it's not anything really you're changing inside the game. You're modifying the information inside of a roster. So you got to have that roster for the mod to essentially work technically. So if anybody's trying to work on like an overhaul mod or roster mod, the first thing you got to do is go to, and there's our table finally loaded up. The first thing that you want to do is go to features, create roster, and you want to use the official 2K Sports roster. You cannot edit a roster that has already been edited using Cheat Engine because the version is going to be all mismatched and it won't work. So like you can't take my roster I use for college unless you got the same cheat tables and the same EXE and then start editing it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the official 2K Sports roster. Load that bad boy up. I'll put my controller down because you really don't need it now. Everything that you're doing now is going to be editing in Cheat Engine. So let's go ahead and Minimize this. Let's open up Cheat Engine. Let's move this to the side. I got a widescreen monitor, so I'm hoping you can see everything. All right. So we got Cheat Engine open. We got the cheat table opened up. Another good thing that you can have open if you want, that's pretty good. If you go to the NLSC forums, go to just the general NBA 2K20 forum. If you go to tutorials and FAQs, we have a stadium and floor list that you can look at that basically shows you what we're going to be editing. So these are the floors that we're going to be editing. These are the stadiums, the teams that we're going to be editing right here. So, for example, your mod 76ers is the first team that's going to be replacing the 10th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers. So this team is going to be replacing Philly. The American Legion Post team is going to be replacing the Bucks, and so forth, down to Charlotte. All right. So the first thing that we want to do is when cheat table opens up, go ahead and hit this little select process to open button right here. Find NBA 2K20. Hit open. Nope. It's going to say keep the current list. Say yes. Now you got the cheat table loaded up based on this roster right here. So if we hit the A button, this little column for A, this is going to be the first 15 teams. So 76ers, Bucks, Bulls, Cavs. It matches it up. So that's all it is. So what we're going to do is, remember, everything that you're editing is done right over here in Cheat Engine. Nothing's done over here. It's all done here. We edited here. You'll see the changes reflect immediately over here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change out the team information. So this team table just changes out like team information, colors, a few other little things, but I'll go through them. And what I'll do is I'll try to make a couple different videos. I'll do the team information and the stadium information video for you to get you started. And we'll look at uniforms, so that's going to be a little bit different. And then we'll look at players as well once we get closer to finishing everything up. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the title, because that's the first thing we're going to change. So we're going to copy this. Now, you can do this. You can do a copy and paste like I'm doing. If you do a copy and paste, make sure you throw whatever you copied into Notepad to strip any formatting that's attached to it. So I'm going to throw it in there, then copy it again. This is just, now it's just blank raw text. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to Philly, and we're going to hit the little box next to team name 0. This is going to open up all the information related to the 76ers. So, and we can scroll all the way down until we see team name 1, which is the Bucks. And that would be the American Legion team. So the first thing we're going to do here is, the way the team names work in NBA 2K is it takes the city name and takes the team name and combines them together. What I do in my mod is I just blank out the city name and I put everything under the team name. You could split them up here if you wanted to, but sometimes it won't show everything. So I would just say blank out the city name and then just add everything under the team name. So that's the first thing we'll do. So if you go under city name, if you double click on the value here, the text, a box is going to open up. You can make this bigger. We're going to blank this out. So we don't want it to be Philly. You'll notice when I did Philly, when I took the Philly out and blanked it out, it just says 76ers now. So 76ers is only reading the team name. It's reading both, but this has nothing in it. So now we're going to take that team name that we copied. Since you said this was the final list. And I'm going to throw this up here under team name 0. All right. Now it should come up and paste 10th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers. So it looks like it does not like it when you have too many characters under the value, because it'll throw some extra stuff in there. So it looks like the IERS is too many characters for the team name up here, because it threw the rest of that under the city name. So what you can do is you could try to maybe shorten this up a little bit. It's kind of up to you. What I'll do is I'll just kind of decide. We'll just do something here real quick. So we'll say 10th Cavalry We'll just do something like that for now. And it's still too many characters. All right, so hold up. Let's do. Okay, let's do let's take the buffalo. So this is gonna be something that you're gonna have to decide on, because we still got too many letters. So we have one more letter. What can we take off? We can say 10th Cavalry. We can say maybe I'm trying to think what we can do. 10th Cavalry, Buffalo. We could do like that, Buffalo Soldiers. Or we could say do you want to try Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers? I think that'll be enough characters to take off. Damn, it's still too many characters. Can we take this off and see if it is? Double click on this S, wipe this out. Okay, so it looks like you have to get rid of 4 characters, because I got rid of the H, the T, the 0, and the 1. So it looks like Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers would be the longest that it's going to allow. So how many ever characters this is, that's the longest you're going to allow. So looking at these team names, you can decide that, or like I said, you can also use the city name too. So if you want to do city name, you could say 10th here. Now it's 10th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers, and I think there's an option here that says, let me see, I think there's an option about the name. Always show city and name. So you can say yes to this, and it should always keep that all together. So you can do that. That's an option for you. Or you can go Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers and keep this blank. It's kind of up to you. I'll let you decide that. And you'll see the changes that it does when you actually go to load a game, how it looks on the scoreboard and the menus and stuff like that. And you'll be like, oh no, this is too long, got to shorten it up. So I'll let you decide that. So that's the first thing you want to do is decide on your team name. Me personally, I don't use the city name. I just use the team name. But I mean, it'll be up to you. So what I'll do for now is I'll blank it out. So the first team is going to be Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers. Next thing you want to do is you want to mark out the arena. So wipe this out. I think what that does is it plays the videos for that arena. You know how you start a game up and it shows the teams in the city video or whatever? I think that's what that is. So we're going to blank that out. And what we'll do is we'll make a color for everything that you should change out. I'll make it red. So arena, all right, cutscene logo, wipe this out. You don't need that. Second logo, wipe that out. We're not using second logos. So we're gonna do both of these. Change the color on both of those. All right. So the abbreviation is going to be the abbreviation that's seen on the scoreboards, like the ESPN if you downloaded that one. The regular 2K one is usually just 3 letters. So you can pick whatever you want because this is your mod. But I'm going to just put something. I'm going to say CBS, Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers. All right. And that's going to be something that we want to change. All right. So each team they have a bunch of different logos attached to them. What I did was I took the one logo and used it for every single logo there. So what I did was the team names are assigned by number. So every team has a number associated with it. So the 000, 001, 002, all the way to 031, those are the team numbers for the teams you're going to be editing. So 000 is Philly, so that's why the logo 000 is that logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this logo. We can edit the logos later. We're going to take that logo and we're going to edit all of these logos here. So we're going to say and what you can this is going to be up to you. I don't think I used the mural or the WM logo. I didn't use those. So if you want to use them, you can, but I didn't use them. So for now, I'll just take them out. All right, I think I did use this one. All right, so for the first 4 here, you're gonna have the same logo. So just edit it and make sure it's just logo 000. I just copied that. That way you don't have a bunch of extra files that you're using when you're packaging your mod together. It's not a bunch of million files. All right, so then we'll say, we'll grab these, we'll change the color. So make sure you edit those fields. And I'll save this table for you so that when I upload it, everything will be solid. All right, so leave these blank. So you gotta edit those. Crowd message, I don't know what that does. I thought it was to change the crowd signs, but it doesn't. I don't know what that is. The uniform data is the uniform that's assigned to a team. We're not gonna worry about that right now. Stadium data is the stadium information that the team is gonna be using. So which stadium? So don't worry about that now. City data, don't worry about that now. Unique signature. I think this applies some of the audio. So what you can do is you can change this to none. So change that to none. We can always change it back if it breaks something. Audio signature, make this just 0, and it should add a bunch of other zeros. So change color on that. All right. Don't touch this. This is the number that the game knows the team is, so don't touch that. If you want to touch this, this information here, the popularity, the playoff appearance, that's up to you. I don't touch anything here but popularity, and I put it at 100. I don't even know what it does. I just put it there because I thought it was to change like how much the crowd is at the game, like how many people are in the seats. But I don't know if it does, but just put it at 100. Your team color 1 and 2 is going to be the team colors for your team. So the first color is going to be what's shown in the scoreboard, and the second color is going to be shown like on top of the scoreboard when you when it's looking at the second color. So for example, we were looking at the Rens, right? So I'm assuming the main color for the Rens is yellow. Whatever color code yellow is, I will put that here for the team color 1. If you're using Photoshop, I based all my team colors based on like the jersey. So if you're using Photoshop, just find the let's do something new. Let's just say okay. Let's paint this blue. If you're in Photoshop, what you can do is you can grab this eyedropper tool, click it on the color that you're trying to find out what it is. Click it a couple times. It'll turn the foreground color here to that color. Double click on it. Here's your number here. This is your number right here. So copy that and get out of here. Won't need that. And then you're gonna paste that in here. When you paste it, it'll automatically spread it out for you. As you can see, it just did it right there. So in the game, that color blue, and you know what? Let's make it a color that will stand out. So we'll see that we changed that. So let's do, actually, let me open up this. I got some favorites for color codes. Hold up, I got some color code things here. NCAA colors. So let's just say it's orange. So I'm gonna grab, and it's the hex color that you're looking for. So I'm gonna grab this orange. So I'm gonna say both colors is orange. So now when I save the roster and show you the team select screen, it'll have orange in the background. All right, so I'm gonna change both of these. So this will be whatever you decide, whatever colors you saying that the team is. Don't touch any of this stuff. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Team chemistry, I put everything on 100 on mine. That's completely up to you. I don't know what it does, but I think it affects the team chemistry of the team. So that's up to you if you want to change it. Team specific play-by-play sound ID and team specific PA sound ID, change that to 100. If you don't, it's gonna have sound information from the team, like from Philadelphia, from the Bucks, from the Bulls. So change it so it'll have some random. It'll have like a default sound by sound ID, which will be just talking about like generic people or whatever. All right, mascot size and mascot tail. Change this to none because you don't have mascots, and change the tail to none. That will eliminate the mascot on the court. Oh shit. Change color. Okay, yeah. So change both of those. Team state, that's just like if you're going to load this up in my league, it'll say if the team is being sold, or if you're doing my GM or something like that. I just always put it on steady. Does it change anything? Not that I know, to be honest, but that's just what I do with it. All right, so has team clinched playoffs. That's all for just the team information. You don't have to worry about that. Bench stand, you don't have to worry about that. Team data type, don't worry about that. Your crowd ID is the crowd. So when we go and build the crowd out, these are going to be the numbers that's assigned to it. So don't touch that. That's going to be one. We're going to use that crowd. So don't worry about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So again, this is going to be up to you if you decide to split up the names, like if you want the names to be the full names. Just make sure you put something in the city name, and then put half of it in the team name, and just down here where it says always show city and name, put that to yes, and it'll always keep them together. How that looks in like the scoreboard stuff like that, I don't know. So you're gonna have to kind of test that out to see, like play a game and see if you got like your team name like falling off the screen or something. All right. None of this stuff you got to worry about. All right, your team color 3, I want to say you can leave that at white, or you can change that to match these two. So just make it the same as those two for team color 3, unless the team you have has a third color, which again, that's up to you if it do. So I'm gonna change that to orange. All right. The other thing here is your shot meter background color, so make sure that's the same color as your team. So I'm gonna change that one. That's the shot meter under their feet. All right, so G League team. Do you want to have this team have a G League team assigned to them? Like, so if you were going to load this mod up into my league, would they have a G League team? That's completely up to you. On all my mods, I said none. On my teams for my college mod, I said none. So you maybe can load up the my league and see if it affects it at all. I just put none, but I mean, that's up to you. All right, your text light and your text dark is going to be the crowd sign. So in the crowd, 2 people usually hold up 2 signs. I can show you how to edit the signs to put something for something generic that we can just use for everybody's signs, because that's what I did on my mod. But what this here does is it changes whatever's on those signs to be a specific color. So I believe you want to be text light. I think you want this to be the color of your team. And I think you want this to be I think you want this one to be color 2. And you want this one to be color 1. You may have to mess around with that. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna make this one white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these two, and you'll load up a match between 2 teams, and then 2 people hold up signs, and you'll see if the colors are wrong. If they are, just swap these out. But usually it's the color 1 and color 2, or color 2 and color 1. But you'll know if that's something that you have to edit. And you can always come back in here and edit this stuff once you load the roster up. So that's literally everything that you need to load up, that you need to change as far as this part of it. And what you'll do is you'll take this and you'll come down and you'll do the next team. You'll start over and you'll replace everything that we replaced here. So you'll make the abbreviation for the team. The next logo is going to be 001, 001, 001, 001. Then you'll wipe those out. So just follow what I just did here, and do it for every single team. All right, so I'll minimize that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this to, this is team info, right? All right, so now when you load up, those fields will be red, so you'll know what fields you need to change. Let me scan over this real quick. City data. All right, I think you good. All right, I think you good. Now this one, this question mark down here has some other stuff. Base attendance, initial attendance. I don't know how to edit these, so I can't instruct you on how to do it. But maybe you can find something out. If you do, let me know if you find out how to fix something down there. But I don't touch them. All right, so once we have that set up, we have that change. Now we can pick up 2K. I'm using the Xbox controller, so it automatically turns itself off. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit B. I'm gonna hit save roster. We're gonna name this roster Black Fives. And what you'll do is you'll go into 2K Share and you'll download this very roster. All right. So now you see when it went back to the main menu, it's not loading up that roster. See how it went back to 76ers because it's reading the default data. Now if I go back in and go to create roster, go to user created roster because I just saved it, remember? Select my Black Fives. See how it changed back to Calvary? So now you can go in and finish editing, I just suggest what you always do. If you make a bunch of changes, save it, but keep a backup of your roster because in case something goes wrong, because I almost lost an 80-14 roster off some crap. So just make sure you make backups. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this. And when I say make a backup, what I would usually do is hit save roster and I will make a Black Fives alternate or a Black Fives backup. And I'll just have 2 of them. Like you see, I got 3 of my college rosters. I'm just paranoid like that, but that's what I would do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this roster. I'm gonna save and share. We're gonna call it Black Fives. So now what you can do is you can go to 2K Share and you can download this roster. When you download it from me, just search by the name or search by my ID. My daughter come down. And then when you download it, open it up and then open up Cheat Engine and then make sure you hit this process. And then when it opens up, all the information will pop up here automatically for you. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna stop there and I'll make another video for the stadium information here in a little bit. Peace.